Funny seeing Arsenal fans saying reaching the Champions League semi-final is 10 times more than winning the Conference League, as if they've reached the semi-final already, if this the game's won. This is Real Madrid, my friend. This is normal settings for them going, trailing and going into the Bernabeu.
Well,
So,
well,
is it done?
on that, do you think Arsenal fans or maybe counting their chickens before they've hatched? Do you think there's a chance here that Real Madrid come back on Wednesday night then?
There's every chance. There's every chance because we've seen them do it before. Now, I expect Arsenal to play a little bit more reserved, maybe park the bus and frustrate Real Madrid. But honestly, once they get that first goal, and the earlier that comes, better. I don't know that it just flows for them. They'll start to crumble. Arsenal. The pressure will get on, and then the second goal comes. Like if any Arsenal fan can sit there and say, yeah, this is going to be cruise control, like we're done, we're through, then speak up, because this is Real Madrid, this is the Bernabeu. It's very good that you got the third goal. The third goal, I think, was massively important. So it gives you that little bit of cushion. But, mate, they're very good under pressure, Real Madrid. So,
yeah, I think that's the key thing, man. I think the key thing for Madrid to come back, they have to score a goal early, man. They have to score a goal early, man, because you're talking about one of the best defenses in Europe right now, and I can't remember the last time they leaked more than fucking 2 goals, bro, let alone 3. You know what I mean? So it's been years. I think it's been about 2 years now, Terry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, in Madrid, they need their crowd pumped up. Bro, lawless, it burns. Trust me, it burns. But right now, Madrid, they've got a long way to go. But what I will say is that Rodrigo and Vinny were poor in the game, yeah? Big up Skelly, because Skelly locked up Rodrigo. But at the same time, they weren't really giving him the ball much. And then Vinny himself on the ball was poor, bruv. Like, he kept giving the ball away, trying to play some, passes across the pitch, and it's just going back to Arsenal, not really trying to take Timber on. You know what I mean? So we need a better performance from, I'm saying we now because I'm a Madrid fan next week, yeah? We need a fucking better performance from all 3 of them. I thought Mbappe was the best one out of the 3. But, yeah, it's a bit of a long shot, man, because they've got to make sure they're scoring 3 goals and make sure Arsenal don't get one themselves.
What do you? I get what you want. I get what you want, and I get that you want Real Madrid to do it. What do you think's going to happen, though?
I think Arsenal going through. I think Arsenal going through. I said this last week, bro, or the other day even. I think Arsenal going through. I think now it's all about PSG stopping them, bruv. That's what it is for me. But yeah, I don't see Madrid scoring 3 goals. I don't see it.
But why? Why?
Huh?
No, you said you don't see Madrid scoring 3 goals.
Because of how good defensively they are, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, Madrid have never come back from a 3-0 loss in the first leg. And what's the name? Arsenal haven't conceded 3 goals in a game since they lost to City 3-1, I believe, in 2023. That's a good enough sample size for us to take an educated guess and say it won't happen next game. I just don't think it's going to happen, honestly. Do we really trust that Arsenal are not even going to score a goal in the Bernabeu?
You know what it is, though, Steffi? What it is about Arsenal, they need to make sure that they go in there and don't crumble in terms of their mentality. Because we saw how good they were at the Emirates. If they start to crumble and they let the fans get on top of them, that's what I'm saying. Madrid score an early goal, that place can just change, bro. All of a sudden now you're seeing Vinny just running at Timber. Timber's flying everywhere, right? You're seeing Skelly losing his head again. You're seeing all of these things, bro. That could happen. But the way Madrid are right now, Terry, I don't see it, bro. I'm seeing Alaba at left back. I'm seeing Valverde at right back. I'm seeing Modric trying to do what Cruz used to do.
Mendy's back in this game, to be fair. So Mendy's back and Tchouaméni are back.
Oh, Mendy and Tchouaméni are back. That's going to help them massively. Camavinga's got a red card, so he's not
I thought I saw a tweet, and I'm only saying what I saw, that saying that the squad will be the same, barring Tchouaméni back and Camavinga being out. But is Mendy back? I don't know. I mean, I'm going by a tweet I read yesterday.
They need him back. I'm looking at fucking Alaba. I even forgot this guy plays for Madrid. All this strapping around his knee, bro. You know what I mean? It was so easy for Saka to do what
he was cooking him, bro. He was
cooking him, absolutely frying him. And before the game, I expected that anyway. So Madrid right now, how they are as a team, they're not a great team, man. Like, I'm looking at PSG and Barcelona. They're both better than Madrid right now. Arsenal right now arguably are better than them.
Can I ask a question about that, though, Don? You're saying now, after the fact that they're not a very good team, why is it that barely anybody, and you're probably in this category yourself, laughed at the idea of Arsenal beating them? Why, after Arsenal beat them, is it now actually this Real Madrid team is not very good? Why wasn't that energy in people's previews prior to the kickoff.
No, bro, my hope was Real Madrid's attack is better than Arsenal's. And if you've got any attack that's going to do anything against their defense, I'm looking at Madrid's attack, I'm looking at PSG's attack, I'm looking at Barca's attack, right? But if you go back to my prediction, I never said Arsenal were going to get battered. I said I think it's going to be a tight scoreline. And obviously without Gabriel, I think defensively they won't be as good. But I thought Kivior was actually quite good. You know what I mean? I thought it would probably be like 2-1 Madrid or something like that. I'm pretty sure I said 2-1 Madrid. But yeah, it's their attack just let them down, innit? That's what it is, Terry. But like I said, as a team, Madrid as a team have not been good. Go back to when Liverpool played them. I was convincing Roms. I told Roms, you're gonna beat Real Madrid. He told me, nah, trust me. I've got bare PTSD. I said, bruv, I've been watching both of you, and I've been watching Madrid. They have not been good. Mbappe is still finding his feet. When you watch how they're playing, they're really missing Toni Kroos. Go ask Will. Will tell you how much they miss Kroos in their team. And the other
Will
day,
has been screaming for a Kroos replacement for a minute. That's why he wanted Enzo. He knew that they lost a big part of their midfield. To be fair, their front line is dysfunctional, bro.
People like to say I like to bring it back to Chelsea, but I'm watching Modric getting on the board against Arsenal, and he's not pinging it. He's not pinging it the way Kroos used to ping it, Terry, bro. Yeah,
bro. That's why a lot of Real Madrid fans, including Will, they said they need Ceballos back. Because they know Ceballos has been more important for them in the midfield this season than Modric. And no disrespect to Modric, obviously he's a great, but Modric is just there because he was okay with accepting that role on a one-year contract.
I feel like Real Madrid have had a number of these problems for the past 3, 4, 5 years even. And I remember that great run where they went on to win it. Where look, we all watched those games. And I got cooked I got cooked at the final result of every one of them rounds. Last 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, when they played PSG, when they played Chelsea, and then when they played Man City. Because each time I predicted Madrid's opponents to play better and go through. And in each of the games, it was like I was like 95% right. Until right near the end, they just came up with some kind of hoodoo magic and got themselves through. Then in the final, as you watch that final back against Liverpool, how Liverpool didn't score 4 or 5 goals in that game is unbelievable. And I think that's one thing I would say about saying Madrid are a bad team, is people have been saying this for 4 or 5 years, and rarely has anybody done what Arsenal did. City did a couple of years ago when they banged 4 past them, but that was a team that everybody's speaking about as one of the greatest in English and European football.
We literally beat Madrid on our way to winning the Champions League, bro. And we're talking about guys like Benzema and these men playing for them. You know what I'm saying? Casemiro, a midfield of Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric.
And I understand that, and I understand it. But at the same time, I know what everyone's saying, that they're not a very good team this year. I get that. All I'm pointing out is that the vast majority of people, there are individuals, and actually a lot of Madrid fans, there was a great bit that Bleacher Report put out where they were just walking around Madrid interviewing fans. Firstly, the lack of disrespect towards Arsenal compared to Premier League fans was night and day. Like, they just were like, all of them said the same thing. They're an excellent team. They play great football. This player's good. That player's good. And a lot of them predicted they would lose at the Emirates. But I don't think anybody predicted what we saw. And I know the free kicks created extra drama and everything else, but let's not pretend like Courtois didn't make 4 or 5 brilliant saves in that game as well. And when you think about David Raya, there was that one save from the Mbappe shot about 20 minutes in. Outside of that, the fact they didn't lay a glove, I think that sends that. That's why, though, I want to show you guys the stats. These stats have come down. I want to get your opinions on this. Opta have released new stats now that have made Arsenal the favourites to go on and win it with 27%, closely followed by Barcelona on 26%. PSG 23%, Inter Milan 20%, and all the losers of the previous round, obviously they've dropped down to like a 2 and 1% chance due to the way those games went. But Opta, and they base that on a number of, I think the scoring structure is based on the volume of goals they've conceded, the volume of goals they've scored, the winning margins in games, the quality of opponents they've played so far. So it takes in the league and the knockout phases into consideration. And Opta are now coming out and saying that based on all the data so far this season, Arsenal are now the favourites. You may not agree they're favourites, and that's fair, but do you think what they've done to Real Madrid, and if they see it through, do you think it changes everybody's mind about Arsenal? Because they were always looked at as they don't have heritage, they've never got over the line, so they can't get over the line. Would this result, Staffy, change people's perception of Arsenal in your personal opinion?
So when you say that, what do you mean exactly? I need a little bit more of a detail.
Okay, so obviously Opta have them as favourites, and they're basing it on data, games, and facts from the matches. I think that's one part. I don't think what Opta have done factors in the fact that there are clubs like Inter Milan who are great. They've won it. The fans have won it. They've been to a final recently, and I think that plays a part in helping you get over the line because of understanding how to handling Arsenal in the final versus Inter as an example. An advantage Inter Milan have is that they've been there recently, right? So they understand the feel and the day. And I recently watched Man United's 99 documentary, and you hear a lot of the players talking back in 99, and they were just like the stress they felt all day because they're hanging around in hotels. So it's understanding how to handle that. But what I'm asking is more about, they were written off by most being able to knock out either of the Madrid teams. And that was the reason why they can't go on to win it, because when they come up against Heritage, they get knocked out. If they knock out a team the size of Real Madrid, do you think that would change people's perception to where they genuinely give Arsenal a chance of winning it? Is maybe a better way of phrasing it.
Yeah, I get what you mean now. Listen, the team that always knocks out Madrid usually gets a little bit more of a boost, because mentally they know they knocked out the team that won it the most, and the team that everyone believes no matter how good or bad they are, they don't even need to turn up on the day and they're still going to win. So mentally for them is going to be a good thing, and I think they'll get a lot more respect. For me personally, until Gabriel got that injury, and that's kind of what my one regret is, saying they don't have a chance because they lost Gabriel. Before that, I had them beating Madrid to begin with. I didn't think they'd beat Atleti, but I said if they match up Madrid, I think they'll be good enough to beat them. I've only switched up, honestly, when I saw Gabriel out, which I still think it was a decent reason to doubt this back line when Gabriel is not there and Kivior is there. But outside of that, listen, they'll get respect. They'll mentally be up for it. I think a lot of rivals are still not gonna they're still gonna doubt him. They're gonna be like, yeah, but you've never been in a semifinal in like 14 years or quarterfinal in 14 years. And then if they reach the final, they're gonna say you haven't been in a final since 2006 when you lost to Barcelona. I personally don't think they're gonna win it. My whole idea of their run was always gonna be that they could beat Real Madrid, but I still think they'll lose to PSG. And if they get past the PSG, I still back Barcelona and Inter to beat them. But they do deserve the respect. And listen, I don't think Arsenal fans should be going around seeking validation. We always cook Giuseppe in the chat for that as an example. Like,
oh, they love it.
Red scores a goal and then he adds done. Like, I'll be honest with you, if I was an Arsenal fan, fuck it. If United are playing Madrid and Bruno scores a free kick like that as an example, and we're up 3-0, the last person on my mind is my rival or Don. And I think that's the one thing that they need to focus on. Their team is clearly good enough to go far in this competition. It is a progress on last year. Actually, this game proved to us even more why I said this Premier League season is bad, because they made all the excuses in the book to why they couldn't win enough games in the Premier League this season with injuries, yet with the same team you were able to put 3 past Madrid. So you can't have it both ways. But I think they just need to stop worrying about rival fans. Rival fans are going to do what they do best. I will promise you this.
You put that comment up as well about we've got Super Mick Arteta, bro. What are you waffling about, bro? What are you honestly waffling about right now?
Who wrote that comment?
This guy's talking about players that have won multiple Champions Leagues. The guy you just put up, we've got Super Mick Arteta, whatever he's talking about.
Okay, so
yeah. Waffling right here, bro. You know what I mean? Get out of Arteta's arse and make sure that you fucking leave with something before you talk nonsense like this and talk about Benzema and Cruz as if they're just some nobodies. Like, what are you talking about? We played Madrid.
Was better.
We played. Of course, they were better. We played Madrid when they were in their prime and won the Champions League at the end of it. Right? So calm yourself down, bro.